Alrighty, guys, my name is JabeTime, and today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the new movie Evil Dead Rise. Spoiler warning for anyone who still hasn't seen the movie. So, to start off, I've actually never seen a Evil Dead movie, which I know, it's a bit of a disappointment. I've always wanted to see them, and I think after watching this movie, I want to see them even more. But I think that changes things because I don't really have something to compare this movie to going into it. And I know a lot of people were really hyping up this one, so uh, I don't know if it was worth the hype or if it wasn't. But either way, I will say I did enjoy the movie. Now, going into it, I like I said, I don't know much about Evil Dead, but right off the bat, there was just a pretty gruesome kill. Some girl got her scalp ripped off, like by the hair, just like a heckin' band-aid. And like that, I was just like, oh, so this is what kind of movie this is gonna be. And I haven't seen a gory movie in a long time. Last time I saw a gory movie was Barbarian. Great movie, by the way, but pretty much just goes through a whole thing about this demon coming back and then going ham on this whole family. And I will say, the gore scenes slowly got a little like less gross, I would say. I mean, there were some that were really bad. There were some that made me like almost have to look away. There's a part where one of the girls swallows like a glass, and you can see it poke out of her throat, like through her neck. And oh my god, that part was just really bad. Another part too, when a lady gets her calf completely cheese grated. Just like it was pretty bad. Those scenes were cool, but as I said, like it slowly got a little less and less like intense. I would say you got used to it, I guess is a good way to put it. But either way, it was a good story. It was cool. I'm not totally sure if it fits in with what happens in The Evil Dead because I haven't seen much of. I've only seen a few clips and I still can't even tell what's going on. But this movie was certainly a unique one, but I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people said that it sucked, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. With every remake that comes out for older movies, I feel like it always gets that sort of remake cliche feeling that all these new movies have. Like, just like, oh, these kids do something stupid and then something bad happens every single time, you know? And that's pretty much all that happens, and one kid just ruins everything, and then everything happens. But some of the jokes were pretty funny, but some of the jokes were none of them were cringy, none of them were terrible, but some of them were I don't know, a little forced, I would say. There are a lot of moments when you really question why the character would do such a thing. I always like to watch movies and think like, why do they do what they do? And there was a lot of stupid choices. There was a part where one of the characters like went to go listen to a record in another room while the kids were in the other one, and the kids got destroyed by the demons. So I don't know. It was a bit random. Some of the choices were stupid. Like I said, every new remake has that sort of new cliche feeling to it that all these like newer modern movies have, I'd say. The makeup and effects though were awesome. They really made you feel like all of these gruesome details. Like I had said about earlier, the cheese grater scene, man, that really just made you. It made you have a reaction in some way, just like or like I remember saying that so many times in my head, just like, oh, dude, that's so gross. Come on. But hey, they did a pretty good job of making the scenes pretty gnarly. So I guess that's the whole point of it. It was a pretty short movie. I think it was 1 hour 36. I don't know if that's including credits or not, but it was a shorter movie, and I think the purpose of that was so they can have space to make more movies afterwards. Because I think there's definitely room for more. Because it left off on a whole nother demonic thing going after another group of teenagers. Well, it's not really a group now, but I will say there was a couple of scenes where we got to listen to a sort of old-timey priest saying like some demonic things, and that's what actually starts everything. And those were spooky, man. And the way they were able to just get that feeling of like hell and the demonic stuff it had me scared afterwards. I was like, man, I gotta pray tonight to be safe, or else I'm gonna get taken away or get possessed by some demons tonight. I also really like the cinematography in this movie. Some of the shots were just so cool. Like there's a part where the elevator fills up with blood, and then it all comes out afterwards once the elevator door opens. And also, for some strange reason, this was probably one of the loudest movies I've ever seen in the theaters. Just every jump scare and every just something huge happening was just so dang loud, and it definitely would make me jump a couple times during the movie because I get scared pretty easily, at least like when it's like a quick jump scare. There's a whole section at the end of the movie that has to do with like a centaur. I don't really know what you'd call it. Just a body that's all the bodies combined, and they have all these arms sticking out and legs. It's just one big jumble of people. And at first, I noticed that they weren't really showing it too much. Like it was anytime it was shown, it was in the dark, or you can only see a split second of it. But there's a section where it shows it like pretty much full on, and I thought it was awesome. They did a really cool job with it. You can see like every single actor who was in the body just wrangling around trying to grab this person, and I don't know how that pulled that off. It looked awesome and it looked real, and it was really cool to be able to see something like that come to life. My only complaint is just some of the stupid decisions that happened during it, but like I said before, it is just trying to make a remake of older movies, and it's always going to have those stupid decisions that all these new movies have. That's the only thing I'd say I really thought was kind of dumb, but I mean, these days movies just need stupid decisions to be able to keep on going. Whenever a stupid decision came on, everyone in the theater was like, "No, don't do it, and that's pretty funny, I think. Either way, the movie made you cringe in a good way. Well, depends, I guess. Cringe as in like a really violent scene, and you're like, "Oh God, I can't. I don't even want to watch this that much, but I gotta keep watching, to see what's going on." I enjoyed the movie personally, and after watching it, I definitely want to go back and watch all the other Evil Deads, because those are some legendary movies I've heard. But for today's JabeRank, I would give Evil Dead Rise about a 7.7 or so, maybe close to an 8. The movie had me watching. I wanted to see what was going to happen next. Never really got boring, and I feel like that's the best thing about a movie. Just keep your viewer watching. So that is the rank I would give it. I would definitely recommend giving it a watch, especially if you like anything that has to do with horror. It was also sort of funny in some moments, and I think that's what Evil Dead is, just horror and comedy at the same time, just a little goofy. But it's definitely worth the watch, especially in the theaters, because it is very loud. But anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching. That was my JabeRank on Evil Dead Rise. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.